Okay, so The Flash was expected to make 155 million plus on its opening weekend, and it appears to have gotten right around 55 million, and even like the low expectations were 70 million, so it didn't even make that. Um, I love how it's the biggest value creation opportunity for us. And then maybe you should have kept it going in the way that it was going because somehow they want to trash on the Snyderverse, but that seemed to be the thing that just about everybody was enjoying. Mainly Henry Cavill as Superman. I think that's the biggest thing. And I've got a few articles popped up here, so we're going to take a look at them. The thing that really gets me about all of these articles is they kind of go, like here, everything that could go wrong essentially did go wrong at the box office. Well, what do you mean? A lot of industry buzz led into higher expectations, especially going into summer, but it ended up that reviews, word of mouth, and just general consumer confusion about the DC franchise really worked against the film. I don't think we're confused at all. I think that we understand that you're wiping the entire universe. So that means all the movies that we liked were pointless. That awesome Snyder cut of the Justice League that I honestly thoroughly enjoyed that showed Darkseid being a badass, pointless. Darkseid is this main villain that was built up from the entire DC universe is now again pointless. Any investment that you had in the franchise was just it is literally pointless. And any future DC movies that come out, you don't need a Flash movie to explain it. And any actual comic book fan will tell you anything about the Flashpoint paradox, and that's where they took a lot of their stories. The whole point of the Flashpoint paradox was Flash wanted to go back in time, stop his dad from getting convicted for taking out his mom. And that's when he finds out that Reverse Flash is the one that's been fucking with the timelines the whole time, so he has to go back and essentially make sure all the events happen the way that they were supposed to, so that the world can go back to normal. It was pointless. It was a good story for comic book purposes. It's a really good story, but the moment you open up or you add in the multiverse and all that, you kind of just fucked up your entire universe. Marvel did it too, and I actually think that's the biggest reason why Marvel is currently having so many issues with what they're doing as well. Um, nothing in the universe matters. Nothing at all on any of these movies. Um, like in this one, I haven't seen the Flash movie yet, but let's just say the Flash is so amazing he runs to the moon. It doesn't matter because in another universe there is no moon. Uh, the world could get blown up in one movie, and then, well, guess what? That was World A, and we live in World 2. So it's just kind of ridiculous that you can continuously pull out of these multiverses and different timelines to just shoehorn in any magic story that you want to have in. And that'll work if you do it right, but you can't do it all the time. And I think a lot of people are getting kind of bored with this whole multiple timelines, multiple universes thing because so many shows are doing it, so many movies are doing it now. And the worst part is they're not adding, they're trying to recapture certain emotions. Like for people of my generation, I grew up watching Michael Keaton as Batman. So when I found out that he was going to be the Flash movie, I was really excited. And then I really started thinking about it. I'm like, but at what cost? I get that nostalgia factor of having Henry Cavill, I mean, excuse me, of having Michael Keaton back as Batman, but I lose Henry Cavill as Superman. And as much as I like Michael Keaton as Batman, the dude is in his 70s. And I know they're going to use stunt doubles to move him around and whatnot, but he's in his 70s. I'm the same age as Henry Cavill. So I kind of liked seeing, Superman my own age kind of doing stuff that these characters that I grew up with my whole life. And I think that's exactly why people kind of walked away. We're seeing a lot of these movies now that are being more and more like this. They're going with these different themes. They're going with, we're going to take out classic iconic characters. We're going to bring back a little bit of nostalgia. So, and I've heard that Marvel's in the talks about bringing Robert Downey Jr. back as Iron Man because we got to keep bringing that nostalgia back. We can't just let these characters go. But then when we have really good, characters that could actually hold the franchise, we don't use them properly. And Henry Cavill is the best example. The second Henry Cavill put on that Superman suit, even if you weren't a huge fan of Man of Steel, he became Superman. And if you go and you watch anything he does, that was related to Superman. He embodied the character. He had the perfect look. He had the perfect physique. He was literally the perfect Superman. And then you go and you replace him with Supergirl, which I can't understand why you replaced him with Supergirl. She's tiny. And I get it, they're Kryptonians, but whatever. Um, However, from what I've heard from the leaks, it doesn't matter that she's in the film either, because the whole point of Flashpoint Paradox, he goes back in time, some shit gets all fucked up, and then he comes back to the normal time. I don't know if that's how this movie's going to end. I heard it's going to just do a complete whole new timeline for him, which again is fucking stupid because we have no Superman. Um, there's a Blue Beetle movie coming out. That doesn't matter because that's not part of the new DC universe. Aquaman 2 coming out, not part of the new DC universe. I think that James Gunn said he's going to try to keep Gal Gadot, but we'll see how that goes. I shouldn't have kept Ezra Miller given his sordid past. There's just so many different reasons why this movie failed. One article I was reading, again, Ezra Miller, leaks, trailers, reviews, the DCU. Honestly, I think the biggest issue was no Henry Cavill. You know that the Black Adam movie flopped. Let's see how bad Black Adam did. Black Adam flopped, all right. 393 million worldwide. Budget was 260 million. So it technically it made money. This movie would have done far less if they didn't tease Henry Cavill as Superman. The only reason I wanted to go see this movie was Henry Cavill. And the reason I didn't is because I found out it was a really brief cameo. I also found out that Black Adam wasn't really Black Adam. He's too much of a good guy. Like the problem with The Rock is he's a fucking asshole, and he's got to do everything his way. So yeah, I mean the Flash flopped and kind of deserved it. This is what happens when you grab a franchise, tell all your fans that hey, you know what, we got some shit, but fuck you guys. You don't need to see it all. Or all those years that you spent investing in these characters, liking these stories, doesn't fucking matter. You know, it's Mass Effect 3's ending all over again. And I think that's the thing. A lot of people have been dealing with this shit. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Pixar's fucking doing terrible too. But so many people are sick and tired of every time they have a product or anything that they enjoy in general, that it ends up just getting completely fucking changed. And not in a way that like, you know, time goes on, things change, but just in a way that their product that they had is no longer their product. And we're not sure who this product's being marketed for. I have no idea who the Flash movie was marketed for. Because as far as I can tell, it wasn't marketed to comic book fans. It wasn't marketed to any specific demographic. It wasn't marketed really to. It wasn't marketed to anything specific. It was just a movie that was made and it's like, hey, come see the Flash movie. You know, and then that doesn't work. If you take movies like, think of the Mario Brothers movie that just came out. That movie was marketed mainly to kids. But there was so much in that movie that was geared for adults. It was fucking great. It was a hilarious movie. My kids watch that almost every day, and I probably have seen that movie about 10 times since it's come out. Full of nostalgia, full of jokes, full of lightheartedness, no politics, no drama, just a movie. So you can make movies still. You don't have to do stuff like this and just completely get rid of an entire audience because you're trying to please everybody. Find your audience and stick to them. Try to grow your audience by taking your main product and making it better. Don't strip away your product and make something completely different and wonder where all your fans went. Because that's exactly what DC did. They took their product, they stripped it, and sent out something different, and this is not what any of us wanted. But all right, well, I think that's where I'm going to cut it today. Take care.